Our first guest of the day is Nick Desai, the founder and CEO of Snack It Forward, the maker of Peatos. Thanks so much for being with me, Nick.
Hey, thank you, Ray, for having us on the show.
So what is Peatos?
Peatos is essentially a crunchy puffed snack. If you've tried crunchy Cheetos, then you kind of will have a sense of what the snack is going after. Yep. And the big difference is that instead of being made with a base of corn, it is made with a base of peas and lentils. But it's done in a way that you barely will know the difference.
So it's a pea-based snack.
It's a pea and lentil-based, crunchy, puffed snack.
Now, the name is reminiscent of another brand that sells some crunchy snacks called Cheetos, as you refer to it.
Yep.
And you've ruffled some feathers. There's been a big company that's gotten a little ticked off at you about your name. That's PepsiCo.
Yes.
They recently sent you a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, that was about 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
Yeah, and yep.
So can you give us an update on what's happening with that?
Absolutely. Essentially, when we created the World Peas brand and what we're trying to achieve with this, we're really trying to revolutionize the $28 billion salty junk snack arena, which is dominated by Frito-Lay. It's dominated by brands that like Doritos, Cheetos, Fritos, and a lot of those products, as you know, are made with a base of corn and potatoes. And our big discovery is that you can make junk snacks out of peas and lentils and make them taste just as good, just as fun, just as crunchy. And so when you're dealing with a category or industry where you have a player that's 65% market share or more, if you're not, gonna go after them, then you're probably not in the right ballpark. So, we look at it like we're not intentionally trying to ruffle, anyone's feathers, including Frito-Lay, but we are going after this category and trying to bring something different to it. We're not, we don't look at this as kind of going into the healthy, natural, space as much, although it qualifies on terms of the merits as a snack. We're really going after traditional salty junk snacks and giving people an alternative to those types of snacks. So, it's kind of like Samsung when they launch a new phone, Apple gets ruffled. It's
right.
It's this business, right?
It's interesting. You refer to the category that you play in as the junk food snack category, and that you're really not necessarily going after that Whole Foods consumer. But what you're selling is a better-for-you snack, right? At its core, it's not a junk food.
At its core, it is designed to taste, feel, and look like junk food.
Okay.
Remember, no one wants to eat junk food for the junk, right?
Yeah.
No one says, I want to pick up a bag of junk food because I love artificial seasonings, right?
No, I haven't heard that
exactly.
one, no.
So when you pick up junk food, you're eating it for that pow flavor, right?
Yep.
That big crunch, that bold, fun experience of eating junk food, right? And then you go and eat healthier snacks and better for you snacks a lot of times, and you're like, I'm doing this, and it's a little bit of a sacrifice.
Right.
I'm making the sacrifice because I want to eat better, I want to eat healthier. My wife told me I shouldn't be eating 3 bags of Cheetos a day, right? And so we're like, what if you can eliminate that experience? So we started with this, and I think really, when you really want to drive innovation, right, you start with the theoretical, right, the dream. What is the dream? The dream is if pizza and hot dogs could have nutrition, right? Then we could all eat pizza and hot dogs all day long and not worry about, we got to eat more vegetables, right?
Better nutrition, right? They all have some nutrition.
No,
right?
no, that's what I'm saying. Better nutrition, more like making it feel like it's a nutritious product.
Sure.
And so. That was the dream, and we actually felt like that dream could be realized when we did some homework. My parents were originally from India. Mm-hmm. I was born in the United States, so I had the benefit of kind of seeing both cultures. And I would travel to India as a child to visit my grandparents, and I was served the Indian version of junk food, which is made out of peas and lentils. And the other thing I was served, by the way, is coconut water. And I always had this dream in my head, like, oh, this would be a refreshing beverage, if you could can it and serve it in the United States. And lo and behold, someone did one day, and it went from literally being available in the local, Korean markets to $1 billion category.
Right.
So I'm determined not to miss out on the other idea, which was around snacking. And that was, hey, can we create a whole style of snacking and junk style snacking, but make it fun, make it appealing. Even the branding, if you notice how we're trying to approach the branding, it's not what we call the goody two shoes branding that we see in a lot of the kind of natural snacks, which is great. No one's saying that that's not a good idea, but junk food always feels fun, and it feels flavorful and fun, and that's the big things that we're going after.
So I'll put you on the spot. With the pressure you're getting from PepsiCo. Frito-Lay is owned by PepsiCo. Have you ever thought about changing the name of the brand?
As you know, like things, there's some things that are fun to talk about in the press, and then there's the reality, right?
Sure.
We're not getting a lot of pressure from Frito, to be honest, and the pressure from Frito is not coming, let's put it this way, on the name or the trademark and stuff like that. The real battle isn't for market share. The real battle is in the store. Mm-hmm. That's where the pressure is. The pressure is, how do you go up against a brand like in a category like Cheetos, the puff snacks, where literally that defines the category. If I put something orange and puffy looking on this table, I say, what is this? You're going to call it a Cheeto, right? I mean, it's that ubiquitous. It's like a Q-tip or a Kleenex, right? So you literally, like, you put a cotton swab in here, you're not going to call it a cotton swab, you're going to call it a Q-tip.
Right.
It's the same thing. So this is. I mean, these guys have they literally, for puff snacks, it's like they're the player. The next guy, Wise Snacks, I think with a cheese doodle, is like 4% of their sales. So that's the real challenge. Is like, how do we make go after them. In terms of the trademark battle, really, it's not. We're working to resolve that, resolve our differences with them, and they're being very cooperative. And I think we'll get to a resolution that will be mutually beneficial. So I don't think that's going to be the big issue. The big issue is going to be, how do we as a smaller company, how do we get the product into the right hands of consumers?
Well, that's great to hear. We only have about a minute left. You mentioned before we got on the mics that you've gotten a lot of really great distribution of late. Can you talk a little bit about where you are now?
Absolutely. Well, Kroger was an amazing launch partner for us. I mean, I can't say enough about how great a partner they've been. They really took the snack in, and there was a session yesterday where they were talking about, the Kroger folks were speaking at you, and they were saying, hey, don't be surprised if we take a chance on a younger, newer brand, and that's exactly what they did with us. And they launched it nationally. In fact, they encouraged us to go national, and we launched in the produce section. That's another big thing that's different about Peatos from the traditional, salty junk snacks. It's not in the salty snack section. And by the way, that is, again, because of Frito-Lay. We don't want to have to deal with going up against their DSD giant, So we launched in the produce section. Kroger launched it nationally in May. They've been an amazing partner, 2,000 stores. And then from there, the kind of floodgates just opened up. We started the year with 0 stores. We're going to end the year with 4,500 stores.
Wow.
And by the way, it's selling really well. It's become the fastest growing snack in the produce section. It's the number 2 selling snack in Southern California and several other markets in our category. Through IRI. We're outselling a lot of the other brands that have been around for a long time. So it's doing really well. That's
awesome to hear. Nick, thanks so much for being with us on the Livestream Studio. Good luck with everything going forward, and please stay in touch.
Ray, I really appreciate the time.
All right. Great seeing you.
Thank you.